Hi guys, welcome back. Thanks so much for joining me. I am coming to you today from the Gooskimook First Nations traditional unceded territories on this gorgeous deserted beach. I'm so lucky I'm the only person here today. I got my two girlfriend dogs over here in the corner. May hear them barking at some point, but they're just chilling. And let's do a little bit of lower body mobility. So you may have seen my last video, maybe you didn't, that's okay. So we're gonna have our feet roughly hip width apart here. We're going to bring our hands to the ground. So as always, your yoga blocks are there to help you. If you're super tight in the hamstrings, always feel free to have your blocks here as an extension of the hands. Maybe you're ready to progress, or just come straight to the ground. So from here, we're just gonna bend one leg at a time, bending nice and easy. Good. And then from here, both legs are gonna be straight. We're gonna bend the knees, bring the hips all the way down. If you need to, you can always place a block just to sit upon. And again, if you're a little bit tighter, you can sit a little higher, whatever you might need to do. Bring up and down, up and down, up and down. While doing this, we're drawing the belly button to the spine. Engage that pelvic floor, draw everything up and inwards. Good. From here, we're just gonna come down here. We're gonna press our elbows into our knees. Try to just push the legs a little bit open. Little twist to one side and the other. Just taking in all this beauty. I'm also doing a horizon sweep for large predators because you never know. Good. From here, opposite hand to opposite ankle. Reach up to the sky. Spinal twist. Other way. Grab. Oh, that sunshine. Oh, what a wonderful day. And twist. And twist. One more. Good stuff. So from here, we're gonna come up. We're gonna just turn ourselves to the side. Just walk yourself out however you need to. We can come into a nice downward dog here. You can just march it out with your ankles, trying to press the heels to the ground. And as you're doing this, think you want to take your tailbone and curl it up to the ceiling. So we're really like pushing that tailbone up to the sky. Now, while I'm doing this, it's very tempting to push my rib cage and these bottom ribs here towards the floor. So I'm going to just tuck those ribs ever so slightly. Good. From here, I'm going to come forward. Keep that belly button tucked in and kind of curl your pelvis under. So you don't want to be sticking your bum up, but rather tuck the ribs in. Draw the belly button in, curl the pelvis forward, lower the hips ever so slightly. Nice strong plank. Step one foot forward. Little shifting back and forth. Good. Little stirring of the pot here. So think you're wanting to touch every edge of your mat with your hips. And really driving that back heel back and trying to keep this front heel nice and low to the ground. So we're also warming up through the ankles, switch directions. If you see me looking this way, I'm just checking on my dogs, making sure they're good, not getting into any trouble. Good. Step it back, nice strong plank. Switch. Forward and back. Stir that pot. Switch. Good. Step it back. Bring that foot back. Twist and open, looking up to the sky. Come down, step it back. Step up to the sky. Drop those hips down behind you. Twist. Twist. My goodness, what a place. One more per side. Twist. And twist. Good, so from here, rotate yourself out. A nice straddle. So again, think you're taking your tailbone, curling it up towards the ceiling. Nice flat back hinge at the hips. Again, our yoga blocks are here to help us. You can have them for however you need to be. Lower, lower, and lower. Walking them along as if they were parts of your body. Over to one side. See if you can grab the ankle. Try to go nose to kneecap. Always keep your knees soft here, so gentle bend in the knees. Other side. Keep that tailbone curled up towards the sky. Keep that pelvic floor engaged. So imagine you really have to pee. Good. Walking your hands in to the center. So when we're talking about pelvic floor engagement, think you have to pee your pants and you're like, oh no, I don't have a bathroom. So you really got to squeeze everything up and inwards. Good. See if you can come down a little lower to the mat here. Good. And then from here, we're going to go over into our Cossack squat. So we're going to just bend one knee. You may need to drag this leg over to you. That's totally fine. Again, your yoga block can be really handy here if you're super tight. I find having it set up whichever way you need to let you sit. And if not, no block is fine. Keep this heel on the ground, and you want your knee to be just a little bit towards the outside of the arm. So this is like a modified or a deeper Cossack squat, if you will. And I'm just going to hinge at the hip here. I'm going to rotate my thigh forward and up, forward and up, forward and up. Good. Perfect. Now, if this is okay for you, we're going to actually sit it all the way back. Draw the belly button in, engage the belly, engage your pelvic floor. See if you can come back up. Coming down, come up. If not, you can always have your blocks to help push you. You can always have a block under your bum to give you a little bit of a boost, and just do smaller, whatever feels okay for you. Oh, here comes the sunshine. Good. And then from here, coming up and out. And again, if maybe flexibility is a little bit of a challenge for you and your mobility is not quite there, you can always just like get up and walk yourself into wherever you need to be. So again, knee to the outside of my arm. I'm going to rotate at the hip. This is my tighter side. So think the thigh is coming up and down. Good work. And then from here, we're going to come down and sit. Squeeze the belly, engage pelvic floor, up and down. Exhale as you exert effort. Inhale as you come down. And up. Good. And from here, back to center. Again, walk it over to one side. Walk it over to the other. Good work. From here, we're just going to turn ourselves around, so into a nice high lunge. So again, as if you're doing your sprinter stretch. From here, you can have your yoga blocks under your hands to lift you higher if you need to. We're going to push it back. So draw this front hip back and draw this back hip forward. So I'm not twisted at the hips, but rather scissoring my hips in towards each other, hinging at the hips, folding over. And I'm thinking of taking my tailbone and curling it up towards the sky. Good. From here, I'm going to come forward, take this front leg, bring it down, take this back leg, bring it just behind so that my knees are stacked pretty much in line with my chest bone. My feet are equally pushed towards the outside edges of the mat. I'm going to come back and forward, back and forward, back and forward, back and forward. Good. And then from here, you can just step yourself out of it. Other side. Sprint or stretch. This little triangle here. So again, take this hip, pull it back, curl your tailbone under. Draw that belly button inwards, folding it forward. Coming back, take that front leg, bring it down. Take that back leg, bring it right behind. Now try to push your feet towards the outside edges of the mat, and now bring your tailbone straight back behind you. Oh, that feels lovely. Forward and back. Forward and back. Great work. Doing a little doggy wellness check over here. They are good. Just being the best little angels. Beauty. And come on out. So from here, I'm going to do our froggy stretch. So we're going to bring our shins parallel to the edges of our mat. Bring our knees in line with the hips. From here, we're just going to come down. And then what we're going to actually do is we're going to try to pivot through the hips. So think tailbone up to the sky, tailbone down to the floor. Up to the sky, down to the floor. So with this one, it can feel extremely intense. So just be gentle. Take it easy, don't rush. You can always walk your knees in closer to each other as well. Good, and then from here, finding neutral lower back. So I just mean like nice and flat, neither curl down nor up with the tailbone. Just go forward and back. Draw that belly button to the spine. Keep engaging the pelvic floor. So again, imagine you really have to use the washroom, whether it's a number 1 or a number 2. There is nothing available. So, oh my goodness, you got to squeeze, 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 and don't do it. Good. Draw that pelvic floor up and inwards. Good. And from here, we're just going to release. We're going to sit up and sit it back very, very gently and just walk it out. Oh, yeah. Good. We're going to finish off with some ankle mobility. So I'm going to take one foot, place it flat on the ground. I'm going to do a little rock forward and back. So this is where, again, having your yoga blocks can be really nice as well. They can help you. So if you're having some difficulty, you can have them closer, you can have them further away. I'm trying to keep this back heel flat to the floor. Good. Nice and flat as I rock forward. Good. And then from here, I'm going to flip my foot over. So top of the toes comes down to the ground. My hand, I'm going to come from the inside of the ankle to the outside just to keep my ankles in line. And I'm going to rock it forward, getting a nice stretch all through the front of my foot. Good job. Good. And release, other side. So foot flat to the ground. Maybe I'll turn this way so you guys can see. So again, I'm keeping my ankle flat to the floor. I'm rocking it forward and back, forward and back. Keeping that heel flat to the ground. And then from here, flip it over, top of the toes to the floor. My hand comes to the inside of my thigh, to the outside of the ankle. And then I'm going to sit it back. So I'm getting a nice stretch all through the top of the foot, maybe even the top of the toes, but you really want to get the front of the ankle here. Beautiful work. Great way to start the day. Perfect. And release. Good. From here, we're going to take our toes, curl them under, sit it back. So this is where, again, if this feels really intense for you, you can lean it a little bit more forward, and you can also have your yoga blocks to help you. Or if you're okay with that, leaning it all the way back. Good. From here, curl the toes under. This one always feels miserable for me. And if you're working on your feet a lot, or if you run, you walk a lot in the day, doing these stretches is so important. Good. From here, I really like to have my blocks handy for this one. So I'm going to curl my toes under. I'm going to have my heels directly beneath the sit bones. And my yoga blocks, depending on your flexibility, you may need them. I rely quite heavily on these for this one because I'm still building up this mobility. I'm going to bring my heels back. Bring myself forward. Come down. Push up onto my toes. I come down. Curl my toes under, use the blocks, draw the belly button in, engage pelvic floor, bring your heels down to the floor. See if you can sit it here. Again, you can always have an extra block under your tushy. And come forward. Come down, flatten out the feet. Try not to let your toes sickle in and your heels buckle out when you do this. Try to keep your ankles nicely in line. Rolling it back, stretch out the fronts of the ankles and the tops of the feet. Come down. Woo! Good. Good. From here, straighten out the legs. Again, just marching it out one leg at a time. And bringing it up nice and slow. Ah. Thank you guys so much for joining. I hope you enjoyed. See you next time.